In this video, I want to talk to you about 10 things you should never do after uploading a YouTube video. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's jump into it. All right, and as always, I got my notes to keep myself organized because you know I like to ramble, but I'm going to jump in. The first thing you should never do is buy subs or subscribers. And I'm an integrity guy. So when it comes down to this, I'm going to do the right thing every time. You know, you want to build an organic audience. You want to build an organic channel. You want to do it from grit and grind, not for spending on growing your audience. And I know this one goes without saying, but I feel like a lot of people don't know that this even exists. So I just wanted to touch on it really briefly. Do the right thing. Just post your content, grow your audience organically, and it'll be easier. All right, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is, this one's kind of crazy. Don't send your videos to your friends and your family. Let me explain. So if you send your video to your friends or your family, what's gonna end up happening is that they may not watch the whole entire video. They may click off in the first 40 or 30 seconds, and that's gonna affect your numbers. And I not to say that they may not care about the content that you're creating, not to say, but they may not watch the whole entire video. Let's be real. And to be honest, low retention hurts the algorithm, or hurts, you know, that video getting recommended to another audience in general. And I'm be honest, it's gonna tarnish your hard work. Do the right thing. You know, I know friends and family may support, but let them stumble across your channel and things like that and actually watch the video. And if they really want to watch the video, just make sure you tell them to watch the whole thing. You don't want to ruin that video because you work so hard on it. All right, I know that's kind of simple, but that's something that's helped me. And I know people know that I create content in my family and stuff like that, but I want things to be simple and organic, man. I don't want to ruin anything. All right, let's move on to the next one. And this one I actually experienced personally, and this one's huge. I swear I'm so glad I never did this, but don't delete your low performing videos. Now, the reason why you don't want to delete those videos is because, let's say for instance, you're starting from 1 point and you get to 1 point. You want to see your growth from the beginning. You want to see where you came from. You also may, you know, at one point I had long hair. I cut my long hair. I could look back at those videos and remember that. Or, you know, last year around this time, I had 300 subscribers, and I could look back to see where I came from and how I got here today. You don't want to do that, because another thing, those videos may blow up later. Don't delete those videos, because that's your hard work. If that's the case, if you have plans on deleting a video, don't upload it. Keep the videos on your platform the way they are. I know it sounds crazy, and you may want to be like, the video didn't do too well, I may want to delete it. No, don't delete the video. Keep the video up. Don't delete your videos. I know that sounds crazy, but there may be an opportunity that video may get pushed out later on, and it may blow up into something that could be monumental. Like, I had a video one video take off and go up to, like, 20,000 views, which I'm so thankful, and it pushed me to monetization. So don't delete your low performing videos. I know that sounds crazy. Go through the process. I still have videos. If after you're done watching this video, look at my channel. I have videos that have 100 views still, and that's all right. My first video, it only had like 50 views. I looked back at it the other day, and it had maybe 500 views. So don't delete your videos. Keep them. That's your hard work. Think of it as a video diary of your life. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one, and this one kind of ties into what I did in the beginning. I obsessed over numbers. So the next one is, don't obsess over the analytics early. You want to focus on getting better at talking to the camera. You want to focus at getting better on how to use the camera, framing the shot, getting the right, exposure and things like that. Also getting comfortable talking and being consistent and seeing if you actually really like posting content on YouTube. You may get tired of posting content, or you may change directions. Don't obsess over the numbers. People are going to watch your videos as you continue to create. I know that's crazy, but the thing is, your data needs time to stabilize, right? You need to figure out where you're going, what audience wants to watch your content. You may want to pivot and do something else. So don't obsess over the numbers. I understand wanting to answer comments and things like that. I understand wanting to do all these other things that involve, following up on your video and seeing how it's doing. Put the video out, give it 3-4 days, let it kind of marinate. And then later on, you could go ahead and then go back into analytics. I know it's hard, because sometimes, to be honest, I may want to look at the numbers. I may want to see how my video is performing based on my last one. You want to do those things. And I'm gonna be honest with you, don't stress it. Focus on creating the content, and the numbers will come. I know you want to perform. I know you want to do good. I know you don't want to be at the bottom. We always want to strive for greatness, but data needs time. All right, do me a favor. Do me a favor, y'all. I appreciate you. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you made it all the way to this portion of the video. Don't leave yet. Don't click off. But at the same time, we're so close to 9,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. It is huge. It's tremendous. I appreciate every single one of y'all. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know you're all done this. Don't watch your own video. Now, hear me out. If you're gonna watch your own video, make sure you watch all the way to the end, because if you click off, that's gonna ruin your numbers. But at the same time, if you make that video, watch it in a media player before you upload it and see the quality of it. After you take it off your timeline and before you put it into YouTube, make sure you take a look at it and make sure you watch the entire video. You should watch your entire video. You need to see if there's any imperfections. Don't make the video and you go and say to yourself, oh, you know what? I uploaded the video. There was a mistake. You as a director, the artist and everything else should see if there are mistakes in the video beforehand. There should be no reason why you didn't catch something that was in the video the whole entire time. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a responsibility on your behalf. You need to make sure that you're watching the video. You need to make sure that you're doing the quality check, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is that you're going to put the video up, you're going to click on it, you're going to watch it, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't notice that was there, and all of a sudden you're going to want to take it down, and that's going to screw things up. Keep it simple. Watch your own video off of YouTube. Make sure you do a quality control check. Do a quality control check beforehand. Hence the reason why I don't edit my videos, because if anything that happens, it's just there. You can't get rid of it. It's like a stain on your shirt. You spill wine on your shirt, it's on there. You can't get rid of it. So don't do that. Make sure you do a quality control check. Watch your own video, because it will kill your retention. And it's just that simple. All right, let's move on to the next one, y'all. The next one is, I know this sounds funny, and this goes back to the other one. Don't change your title of your video so fast. In this one, you got to make sure you allow that. If you're going to come up with an idea, you should create a title. You should create a thumbnail. There should be two of those things that work in tandem. Make sure you create that title and own it, and make sure you check for grammar and spelling and things like that. But don't change it. If you change the title, right, so quickly, it's going to also confuse the algorithm, and it's not going to push the video where it needs to be. It sounds weird, but you need more time under tension to build data, so that way YouTube can push that video to the right people. So changing things so quickly, and I always tell a lot of my friends, don't change things. Once you decide that you want to do this video or you want to do this type of content, don't change it. Make sure that this is what you want, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is that it's going to mess things up. YouTube algorithm is very temperamental, and it's just going to be like, all right, he wants to talk about cars, and now the video is about cats. I'm confused, right? So it's not going to know where to put the video where it needs to be in the algorithm, because there's so many people in the world that have so many different interests. So I know that's a long-winded answer, but don't change things. Don't change your title. If you're going to make that thumbnail, own that thumbnail. If you're going to make that video, own the video before you put it into create. If you're going to own that title, make sure you own it. Don't change it. All right, let's move on to the next one. And I know this sounds crazy, but it ties into the other one. Don't change your thumbnail. If you're going to make a thumbnail, spend more time making that thumbnail and not making changes. Like I said, your storefront, think of the thumbnail as a storefront. And before people walk into the door, they see this coffee shop, right? And it's like, oh, there's Starbucks, there's Dunkin', but then this is unique coffee shop from a small brand like yourself. And if you all of a sudden you're changing the color of the awning every single day, the windows are all dirty, you're putting all this different color artwork on the outside that doesn't make sense. You want to make sure that everything kind of makes sense. I can't stress that enough. These two work together because obviously thumbnail, title work in tandem, but stick to it. Once you get to when you're ready to post, when you hit that create button, that's it. That's in the realm of no return. Stick with it. You know what I'm saying? If you make a tiny mistake, all right, let's say you forgot to put a comma or something like that, add that, but don't touch it. Once it's there, let it go into the YouTube universe and let people be the judge of your content. And that's the case, don't upload the video. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, this one is huge, and I also thought this was a myth that, oh, you know what, the time of day you should post a video. Now, obviously, I'm being in Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to post videos between the hours of 12 and 6 because 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever it is, I feel like you don't have to stick with that, but that's just what I usually post. That's when I have time. You know what I'm saying? That's when, most people, it shows in my data that are on. But at the end of the day, you could post a video at 5:30 in the morning. However, if it doesn't make sense if no one is, if you look and see that no one really is awake at that time where you live, I feel like the meaty part of the time is 12 to 6, but your time does not matter, right? Your time is what you think it is. If you want to post at 5 in the morning, post at 9. There's no special time. If you post at 9:36 in New York, you're going to get a million views. You got to understand that. Post when you want to, but post when people are awake so they can watch your video. I just think don't stress over the timing of the video. Stress over the consistency. Stress over the understanding of what the audience wants. Stress over the understanding of your camera, your gear. Stress over the fact that you told yourself you were going to make a video and you didn't. Those are the things you should stress over. Post a video as soon as you're ready, or schedule the video at the time that makes sense. I know I touched on analytics, but look at the analytics and see what time your people are on, and just do that. But don't stress over it. There's no magic number. There's no magic time. Stop. Don't stress over it. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is one of my favorites, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I talk about this all the time. I see a lot of people who do not respond to comments, and I'm telling you, respond to every comment. Responding to every comment is important because it builds community. It builds alignment. It answers questions. You could be a steward in your realm of what you're good at. Answer every comment. It drives engagement, it builds community, and it's just the right thing to do. If someone watches your video, they took the time out of the day to watch your content, and you don't respond, it's almost like, what are we doing? The audience is the algorithm, and we're here for them. Respond to every comment. It's very, very important. I think about it. I was talking about this the other day. I think about myself being a small creator and a large creator who wrote to me. I wrote to a large creator in the comments and they didn't answer. Imagine how that made me feel. So think about it that way. Respond to every comment. Trust me, it'll build community, build alignment, and it'll build net promoters for your channel. All right, let's move on to the last one. And this one is huge, depending on a couple of variables. Don't upload straight to public, right? Instead of, when you get those options, public, unlisted, or scheduled, don't upload to public, don't upload to private. When you start to make your video and you're ready, let's say you put on your timeline, you're doing what you're doing, go into the set it to unlisted. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say you're still trying to encode the 1080p, the 720p, the 4Ks, or whatever your video is, if you let it set to public, as soon as it's done, it's just gonna go. You wanna make sure that your video is fully processed. Set it to unlisted before it's done. Set it to unlisted. You could even go into settings and set it default to go to unlisted. Do that, because what's gonna happen if, let's say for instance, my internet that day wants to be all wonky and doesn't want to upload, I have the ability to say, all right, I'm gonna hold this video, set it to unlisted, and then when it's done, I could set it to public. And one last thing I want to leave y'all with is using and this is an extra tip. What you want to do is also use the community tab for posting. Use your YouTube posts to post and engage your audience. That gives an opportunity to have a conversation outside of the YouTube realm, and also to build momentum on your channel. Let's say you're not posting that day, you could do a community post about what's going on in your life, or doing a behind the scenes. People love to see behind the scenes content when it comes to YouTube or what you're doing. Use the community posts. Use the tools that are given to you at YouTube. I think anything community-wise, you should be involved in it. You should always be involved in the community, because it builds alignment, it builds consistency, and it builds people that want to rock with you. Do me a favor. I appreciate you. I know this was a little bit of a longer video. Drop a like on the video. We are almost to 9,000 subscribers, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.